Yes, you definitely need your own agent when you're buying new construction. And here's why. To navigate the new construction process is not a hard process, but you definitely need someone who's going to advocate for you. I have worked with most of the new construction builders around here. I've worked with Stanley Martin, I've worked with Mungo, I've worked with Great Southern Homes, DR Horton. Yeah, DR Horton. Yeah, so that's four. And then the newcomers on the block are Pulte and Lennar. So I've been to a couple of their agent open houses. I can't wait to work for them this year. Just a little background on new construction. New construction means a brand new home in a planned community. So a lot of people drive around the area. They look for new homes, new communities. Number one, first and foremost, you're going to want to get approved. So you're going to want to talk to a lender because lots of times, you know that phrase, our eyes are bigger than our stomachs. You don't want to go looking for a home that you fall in love with it. And side note, the model homes are going to have all the bells and whistles. They're going to do that on purpose because that is like the top of the line. But you don't want to get your heart set on something and then go get pre-approved and your budget is not the same as what you want. So to be a little more realistic, it's best to get pre-approved first so you can see the parameters. Even when you get pre-approved, that does not mean that you have to spend the entire amount that you're pre-approved for. I always tell my clients that, like, just because you're pre-approved for $400,000 does not mean that you have to get a house that's $400,000. Think about your lifestyle. Think about how much the mortgage payments will be. What does your life incur? Do you travel a lot? Do your kids have a lot of sports or activities? Do you have an elderly parent who is sick and needs some medical attention or, expensive medications? Life happens. So, I want to make sure that even though, I'm trying to get people to, stay responsible, it is your money, but make sure that you actually are saving a little bit of that because you don't want to be house poor. House poor is when they say that you move into a home but you can't do anything else because all your money goes into your mortgage payment. You don't want to be house poor. You want to be able to actually live as well. As soon as you get pre-approved from a lender, then that's when you can know what kind of ball game that we can play. Most of the floor plans from the builders I can kind of spot, just from looking at it now because of my experience. So I would be able to tell you based on what you're looking for, like, you want your bedroom down, you may want to look at a Winchester plan with Stanley Martin, or, you want a 3-car garage, you may want a Dillon plan, so there's different things that I can kind of like help you with to navigate before you go actually see a specialist. Each builder is different. Some builders are actually in the model homes to assist you. Some are by appointment only. So I recommend at least letting them know that you are interested in the home and making an appointment so that you can have that one-on-one attention and ask some more personalized questions. As soon as you choose your floor plan and it's available, because a lot of times, sometimes there's a waiting list. Sometimes a pre-planned community may be in its second phase and they're waiting to release the lots. So that's when I come into play, where I'm knock calling and basically just like bothering these people to let them know, like, hey, my client is really interested. Please let me know when you release these lots. Hey, don't forget about me. Hey, keep me top of mind, so that way, whenever they get the green light to release the lots for whatever floor plan that you want, then they're calling me and I'm like, okay, good, let's make this appointment. Let's get under contract so we can reserve it, because new construction actually is along the same lines as resale when they kind of can go quickly. If it's a good home, it's not going to stay on the market as long unless the interest rates keep rising, because interest rates right now are ridiculous, but that's a whole nother story. So after you pick your home, your floor plan, you get under contract, some builders have a design center. So, the design center is where you pick out certain things in the home that you want. Some of them have spec homes. Spec homes are predetermined homes that are almost ready or already ready, or they already have the plans already determined. A lot of builders are moving to spec homes now because of COVID. They would say that it would take an estimated 8 or 9 months to build, but then because of COVID, they did not have any lumber, any windows, or just some kind of shortage of anything. So now a lot of builders are moving towards spec homes where they are already buying the supplies. Everything is already in the making so that the homes can stay on schedule to be built on time. While you were under contract, no big purchases. I repeat, no big purchases. Oh, you want to buy new furniture? Oh, you want to buy a TV? Don't do it. Do it after you close, because that is going to affect your affordability. I actually had a client who bought a new Mustang after we got under contract. And I was like, oh my gosh. But luckily or unluckily for her, her father passed and left her money. So that Mustang did not affect her affordability. If she did not have that tragedy happen, then yeah, she would not have been able to close on her home. Independent inspections are completely optional. However, I recommend them because you want to have someone who works on your behalf. For instance, with my personal home, I had an independent inspection, and the builder had a water pump, the pipe flowing under my home and the crawl space. And so eventually my crawl space would have flooded because the water was supposed to be going outward, outside. So that's something I never would have caught because I don't go under my home. Independent inspections run you about $400 to $500. It depends on the square footage of your home. After that, we give that list to them so that when you do your walkthrough with their superintendent, then you can compare notes for what they feel still needs to be done and then what your inspector needs to be done. And they'll go through that whole checklist. And it's really good to have a second pair of eyes on it. We'll have the final walkthrough, which is usually the day before closing or the morning of. Some builders do it early that morning, 8, 9 a.m., and then you have closing at 10 a.m. And then yay, you close, you get your keys, you're ready for your new home. Then you're not done with me yet. You have a 60-day reminder. So I take it upon myself to set a calendar invite for tax purposes. You want to make sure that you transfer everything over for your home and get your tax rate at the 4% for Richland County. With your 60-day inspection, that's when they'll come in and they'll look at anything in the home that wasn't fixed beforehand. And that means things that you just didn't see. For instance, if your toilet's flush, really slow, or, if your light bulb is flickering already. Those are things that, of course, you wouldn't know unless you're in the home for a substantial amount of time. So you do have a 60-day checkup with most builders. Then you'll have a one-time drywall and nail pop type of situation. I usually suggest to do it at the 11-month mark. That way your house is going to settle. It's going to go through all 4 seasons. It's going to settle, and maybe some cracks, and maybe, weather, acts of God, all types of things. In that 11 months, that's when you go through and you'll see little nail pops, and then they'll fix it for you. They'll do the drywall and all that stuff. Your house is under warranty. Certain parts for up to 10 years. So you have the construction part for up to 10 years. You have the appliances have their independent warranties depending on who they use. A lot of builders use Samsung appliances. You have a 1-year termite bond on the property as well too. So you'll get all of that in your new construction packet to go over. That's pretty much it, explaining the new construction process. If you have any more questions, this is really a dry run through. But if you have any more questions, feel free to put them down below. And I'll talk to you soon.